everybody. I made sure to unmute my friends so that way you can hear them. Today is August 19th, 2019, and you are loved. It is a very important thing to remember, which is why we say it at the beginning of every single one of these shows. Today, we are going to be without our dear friend, LBHackEmUp, until possibly closer to the break. She is on her way back from an amazing trip in Canada, which you could see all of the pictures of if you were, on our Discord at all. So, if you are interested in seeing LB's Canada pictures, possibly check out the link in the description of either this video or audio cast or wherever it is that you're watching this, because we try and make ourselves as available as possible for all of you guys out there. So if you go to either youtube.com/indooradventures, indooradventures.podbean.com, or look on anywhere where you can really find audio stuff, you will probably find us. It'd be really cool if you left us a review or let us know how we're doing, because I enjoy being able to read stuff like that. Other things that I enjoy is being able to provide merch for people. So if you go to bit.ly/adventure merch, you can possibly pick yourself up something nice. Like the Moon Maidens poster, which is also featured on t-shirts. We got the Arjan and Tarlean meet-up poster available, as well as, I believe, the winter scene in the background. We got the Goreblast Stompfoot Gymnasium merch. We also got mugs. We got all sorts of stuff. Soon, try and expect some pants. I'm going to be working on it. So get ready for butt pants, or pants that just say ham on them, because Salt Bays need representation too. But guess what? We have friends who are here for their first time watching live. I am excited for it. So, RJ, who you playing tonight?
Hey everybody, I'm RJ, and I'm playing Caelum, the Shatterkai Cleric.
All right, and Danae, who you playing?
Oh, dang. Well, I'm Danae, and I'm going to be playing Coriander, the Eldrin Paladin.
I'm Cyber, and I play Arjan, the Dragonborn Blood Hunter.
I am the Indoor Adventurer, and tonight I shall be your Dungeon Master. So, last time we left off, you guys had just gotten done finishing up with the events within the Hollowlock ruins, and were making your way out of town, going quite fast, being led in your old cart by your faithful steed, Old Bess. It was then that a bunch of mists and clouds ended up swirling around you as you made your way through the forest, giving certain players Barovian flashbacks, but other than that, their worries were not Strahd related, as a dignitary / valet working for the Cloud Giant that Gwen had lost a game of Ordstone to ended up appearing and then asking Gwen very seriously to come with him, as she needed to be present at the gala for their Cloud Giant Lord. It was at that point that you all decided, well, she has a way of actually getting back to us and hanging out. So you made your way continuing down the road. It was at that point that you decided to stop for the evening. Arjan, you got in contact with a Abishai named Newell, who let you know that the Stonemantle family had reviewed your work request order form and agreed that they would take on this job on the condition that you found them the egg of a deep crow. Upon going to the fourth layer of the Hells, you were able to find said deep crow egg, and upon giving it to the Stonemantle family, you were able to then return back to the material plane with all of your gear and everything like that intact, no longer being in debt several 100,000 gold for the construction of this large machine that will be used to house the spirit of Tarlean when you find him. Caelum, you ended up performing a wild magical surge, and in that surge ended up suffering for a solid minute from these magical outbursts, resulting in 2 new flaws, one of which being apathy, and the other being that you have reckless courage when it comes to wanting to kind of be heroic in a sense. But we are going to be picking up as Caelum, you have decided to pass out in the back of the cart, and Cori, you were crying into Arjan's large chest as he began his first watch.
Caelum isn't resting.
Okay, he's just laying in the back of the cart. What would you like to be doing in the meantime?
I guess he's just sitting against like one of the cart walls, knees against his chest, kind of like staring at the tarp. No, staring over, because we don't have a tarped cart, right?
No, you don't. You do not have a covered tarp by any means.
And I guess he's just gonna take a watch with Arjan, but not say anything. He's just sitting there.
Okay. Sounds good. And then, Cori, were you just going to have yourself kind of finish out this cry and then go towards a meditation?
Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
All right.
She'll do that.
Sounds good. So, Cori, you begin your meditative spot. Caelum, are you going to be meditating as well, or were you going to be taking a big sleep?
He's gonna be awake tonight.
Okay, just staying awake all evening.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Make a Constitution save.
16.
Okay. Yeah, you managed to stay up all evening. Arjan, you notice that Caelum is still awake. He seems to just kind of be staying up past the point that you know that he would be getting a 8-hour rest in or a meditation in. But he seems to be wanting to take the rest of the watch by himself.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, I need to think about some stuff.
Okay. And Arjan will hesitantly go to sleep.
Okay. Sounds good. So, Arjan, while you are, when you find yourself going to sleep and you finally get to the point where you are feeling the calls of just rest finally hitting you, you begin to feel a very familiar wind kind of going one direction, then coming another, as you find yourself in your heart, in the same meeting place where you have met with Newell, where you have met with Tarlan. It is this kind of large chamber. There is this stone dais that rests on a raised platformed area. And as you kind of come to in this setting and are looking around, you see that there is actually a figure that is standing next to this stone dais. You see that they are rather tall. They have these kind of under-rimmed glasses on and are looking at a series of notes and papers. They don't seem to actually be paying attention to you. Their hair kind of frames their face. There's a high ponytail that's been pulled back, and you can see kind of coming from the part that she has in her hair that there is a large horn that extends upward that is the color of sandstone. She's wearing very dark violet, like a very dark violet colored business suit almost, and you can see that the blouse that she has on underneath is this very rich blue color. And that same blue color is also on her fingernails, and you can see that she has a very piercing blue stare as well. That as you kind of come into focus, this figure kind of finishes reading up the paper that they were looking after, and then looks up towards you. And just, all you keep sending are expense requests, but you aren't delivering anything to me. No gold in my name, none of the dozens of bodies left in your wake devoted to me. Just asking for my help, asking for my blessing. You must realize now I'm not that sort of being. I'm the queen. Not a queen, the queen. And this queen gets a lot of requests. And you're new, so I have to forgive you, but you're not new. Not new, anyways. So, why don't you smell new? Someone with this scent should know better. And then you see her close her eyes. Someone with this scent has a lot of nerve leaving me like they did.
I'm very confused.
Where is he? What have you done with him? It's quite simple, really. She points to the large statue in the back that shows it's a stone statue that has the depiction of a 5-headed dragon creature. She just motions towards it, points to the blue one, the blue dragon head, and then points to herself. It's not a very flattering likeness.
Tiamat.
Present. It's a name I assume that you know well. You've spoken it quite frequently lately, which, don't get me wrong, coming from you, it's a very nice ring to it, but at the same time, there's really no backing to it. Conviction only gets you so far.
Sorry, I'm new to this.
No, you see, that's where I'm confused. I know you're new, but you smell like somebody very old.
Talayan.
Yes. I think I know why. I have a lot of eyes places. I have a lot of heads. I can see quite a few things. Where he went to, I'm not exactly sure why he felt the need to leave. But, looking at your personage, it would appear that, well, someone thought that they were doing me a favor. She just kind of looks around. Are you hiding him?
No. I'm looking for him. Until very recently, he was here with me.
And he still is. He's not exactly someone that you forget. How material plane years? How old are you?
Around 20.
She
I think.
makes a quick note on her stack of papers. And then you see she kind of folds these papers up like a book being closed, and they just magically disappear into some extra space would appear, and she dusts her hands, sets her arms behind her back, and closes her eyes. Then you hear her again. No, I know he's here. And she just begins to walk off.
I'm going to follow.
Okay. And as you do, she just continues to walk, taking stops every what feels like every 10-15 minutes or so to just get another deep sniff in. And after what feels like an hour of just walking in almost complete silence with this queen, you see that there is a entryway in the chambers of your heart that you haven't necessarily seen before. And as you look at it, whereas the other hallways and other corridors that are inside of this place seem very much like naturally formed. They have very rounded edges, much in the same way that any kind of artery or vein would have. You see that this is almost like a door that has been made off of a scab mark, like when you would skin your knee on the pavement or anything, how it has this kind of streaked pattern. And she extends a hand outward, and you see that the scabbed over pattern begins to reshape itself, and you can feel in your chest, it's not the best feeling. But who are you to really deny her in this moment? And instead there is what appears to almost be like this stone tunnel kind of shapes in where this tearing had happened. And from inside you see that there is a very deep magenta glow coming from inside of this chamber. And she begins walking in.
Have you seen this before?
And she looks at you, just doesn't even really seem to pay much attention. And she says, the real question is, have you? And as she walks in, you see her looking above her. And as you come into this room as well, you see that almost floating in this room is a magenta crystal that takes up a good 40-50 feet of space. And inside of it, you see that there is this large dark form. And you see her squint. And then she goes forward and extends a hand out and runs it along the gem. And then looks at her finger, kind of wipes it away a little bit, brushes it onto her pant.
Yes, I've seen this before. Right before I lost him. Didn't I? The Night Serpent.
I am familiar. We vie for some of the same portfolio from time to time. Usually it defaults to me, because who would really worship a god who's asleep? I'm very active, which is why it's rather upsetting to see this. And she just looks at this large crystal that seems to be hovering. And she extends a hand out, and you can see that hairline fractures are beginning to emerge on the side of this gem. And then with a flash of this deep purple energy, they actually seem to seal themselves back up. And she looks and says, most difficult thing when dealing with magic that is quite ancient is when you are also an ancient being and find something that's older than you. From here, I can't do anything about this. Should you find me, should you come to my house in the Hells, I might be able to remove this, to have more power there. But now that we've established where one of my courtesans has gone off to, what are we going to do with you? And she says, the light of this deep purple light kind of coming from behind her, silhouetting her as she looks at you. You're new. That'll only get you so far. We have many ways of proving loyalty for me to keep listening to your request, to even get them across the table. So what are you going to do for me?
What do you ask?
I don't ask for a lot. I ask for coin, I ask for followers, and I ask for the souls of the damned. Now, I see you are amassing quite a bit of coin. We could work something out with that.
Looks back at our actual coins.
Thank you for the follow, Golden Husky.
Thank you. I have 319 coins. That is a number.
So, coins, followers, souls of the damned. I see you're awfully good at killing. That's fine. Perhaps we could work something out there. If nobody claims them, de facto. To me.
How would I even do that?
After you're done with slaying, just say a little prayer to me. They'll find their way. They haven't been claimed already.
I have concerns. Followers.
Followers are easy, although the people of the plains aren't exactly the most understanding of our goals here. See, we are doing our best to be dragons. It's quite a simple goal, really. It's to do what we were meant to do. Rule. Have power.
There aren't very many dragons left on the plains.
No. There don't seem to be very many left at all, which is another thing that you have going for you that a lot of my followers don't. Have you ever wondered why you don't exactly look like other Dragonborn? Arjan? It's because you're not.
I haven't met that many Dragonborn.
I'm going to give you a hint. They're not from round here. Some of them worship me just fine, and that's all right, but you're not them. You're what wizards would call a draconian. You are half dragon. The other half, well, I assume that was up to whatever spellcaster turned you into what you are.
Alira.
She will take out a notebook and just write down the name, and then closes it, sets it into her pocket. Yes. Now, I have her name. I'm assuming that she's the reason why Tarlayan disappeared from my good graces for as long as he did. So I'm going to have some words when I get back. Now, followers get people to believe in dragons again. Eventually, there may come a time when they frequent this plane. And how better would it be if they welcomed us with open arms rather than gearing up with pitchforks that don't honestly do all that much except annoy?
Well, you may be happy to hear about a certain song that's going across Alira? That's the name.
Yes.
Alira.
I'll have to look into it. I'm somewhat of a songstress myself. If you can give me songs, if you can give me new material that really gets the people going, I can excuse gold, souls, or anything like that. What I'm looking for is a new act. Something fantastic, something marvelous. Do you think you can give me that?
I'm sure I can find the right buy.
Excellent. That's what I like to hear. Now, I will continue to let you into my service. But this, she looks at the crystal container that Tarlayan resides in. Who else knows about this?
Who else? About what situation specifically?
Well, about Tarlayan being gone. Or found in this situation. Only you and I. This is something I will keep from my sisters, because I don't want to get their hopes up in case something goes wrong.
Can I insight check a god?
You certainly can.
Okay.
Who am I to tell you no?
18.
She does look like she has care for, as she described it, her sisters.
Besides my party.
Yes. Anybody else?
There is one Abishai, the name is Newell.
And she straightens up a little bit.
And they are very they want very much to reunite Tarlayan with you.
And she has a smile cross over her face, and she says, always the romantic, that Newell. I'll have to speak with him as well. Personally, of course. But for now, try not to let others know what you have here.
Can I insight check to see if I just got them in trouble?
Yes, you can.
$22.
You know that Tylera is in a heap amount of trouble, but Newell seems to be doing okay.
Oh, that's fine. I don't know my mom.
So, you become the next big act. We'll be watching. And remember, it's just us. Keep this. She motions towards the large crystal again. That's just going to be a you and me thing for now.
Of course.
And at that, she says, one last thing. There seems to be something missing. And she motions down towards your legs. And on your arms, where you had scars that eventually got filled in to display order, on your legs, these scars had not completed their ring yet, and there is a moment of pain as you feel her hand move in a just spelling out draconic writing in the air, and you can feel a kind of burning sensation on your leg. And as you look down, you see that the sentence completes as, beneath my mantle, all will know fear. And that is when the world around you goes dark, except for her silhouette against this large magenta gem. and she says, "There will be those that will follow in your wake. I expect to see them soon." And then that glow is gone. And you finish the rest of your rest.
You ever just sit and contemplate your decision to follow an evil god?
Nah, I don't
'Cause I'm
second guess
doing
that
that
kind
right
of thing. All right, so Caelum, after about 4 hours of Cori having taken her rest, she ends up waking up out of her meditation, and it is just going to be the two of you, presumably for the next 6 hours or so, as Arjan finishes his rest.
Or you'll come and sit down next to him. It's still night, right?
It is. It is going to be, you're basically at around like midnight-ish at this point, midnight, 1 in the morning.
The moon is probably still pretty full. It's waning by now, but there's probably a lot of light.
Oh yeah, a lot of
And-
natural light. And I mean, it's fantasy times. Light pollution from electric lamps and other things like that doesn't exist. So it is just a pristine night sky.
Cori's going to kind of just sit there and bask in the moonlight. And I think she'll see if she can take on her moon maiden form.
Okay. It takes a little bit of a struggle on your part, but with the moon being in the full state that it is, you feel like it is much easier now than it would have been on your first attempt trying to do it at any other time. But yes, you do successfully switch over to your moon form. And it looks like that for all you people watching.
Except like
Only right side up.
Only right side up. Yep.
Her hair just kind of flowing in moonfire, and she'll just look over at Caelum. Did you sleep at all tonight?
No. I've got some things to think about.
That's fair. The rest is important. If when we're here, she would tell you that you should get some rest.
I mean,
Are you okay, Caelum?
I don't know. I feel different, but I just can't place it right now.
I know what that's like. Do you want to be alone, or is it okay if I sit with you?
Doesn't matter.
Okay. She'll just sit next to him. Just kind of shoulder to shoulder, and look up at the moon.
He's just quietly thinking away.
Contemplative elves. They do that. They do that.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, so your night ends up going by uneventfully. And come morning, Cori, you actually receive a sending on your end. It is not actually from Arathsk. It appears as this is actually coming from the alchemist that runs your shop, Oliver Myroloran. And he lets you know, the guards gave me a silver raven, said it was yours. Arathsk's been gone for about a 10 day.
Okay, out of character. The way that sendings work is that like the next words that come out of my mouth
Next
send back.
25.
Oh, God. What happened to Arask? Never mind. Send the raven to me. Keep up the good work.
And that's it. It is just a once back and forth.
If I have enough words left. The raven's magic.
Okay. Sounds good. So yeah, that is it is around this time as you're kind of like blurting out these words, that is around the time that Arjan is stirring from his full night of rest. And the wings, Arjan, that you've kind of been having steadily grow out of your back, these are much more full size. You don't feel like you would be able to really get any kind of extra like jump or hover or anything like that from them, but they just seem to be more fully grown now to kind of accommodate your large form.
Those are different.
Quiet.
Caelum like takes his shield, kind of polishes it with his cape, and holds it up to show Arjan.
Caelum, have you ever heard of Draconian?
I can read and speak it. Oh no, it's Draconic. Sorry.
Make an Arcana check.
12.
Okay. So with a 12, from what you've seen, there's something about Draconians being similar to Dragonborn, but they were around in a far older time. There doesn't seem to have been any Draconians around on the plains in over a millennia.
I don't think there have been any Draconians around for a while, but they're closely related to dragons, and well, that's it, really.
Well, that's what Tiamat called me.
Wait, what?
Yeah. She called.
Congratulations.
Everybody seems to be meeting their deities these days.
It's not a contest.
If it was, though, I think you're winning.
It's not a contest.
I just was wondering if this was like a normal thing for Draconians.
Sorry, I don't know. That's new territory for me.
Okay.
Sounds an awful lot like you might have to do some research. Meaning you might have to sleep.
Caelum takes his wineskin and...
It is morning.
Waterskin, sorry.
Is it morning if you haven't slept?
Oh, yeah, redacted.
When they say I'd regret that in the morning, I sleep till noon.
Oh, funny jokes.
Were you up all night? Like all night?
Yeah, I wasn't packing. a little bit.
Okay.
Didn't get anywhere.
Well, maybe you should sleep on it.
Maybe later. We've got some road ahead of us.
And you can sleep on the way. Come on, it's a long road trip. Somebody can sleep.
We all deal with things in different ways, but yes, rest is important.
I sense interference.
What is this strange fog rolling in?
Oh no, it's Barovia!
Oh no, it's Barovia again!
What are we doing here? It's not Tuesday night.
Welcome back, LB!
Oh no, I got shoved up a little bit. Hi, LB.
Oh, Kefra Silmi, who are these strange-looking people?
Wait, what happened?
We're playing Christmas Strahd.
Oh, am I back? What are you children up to?
Our best.
Oh gods, it's another witch!
No doubles, no deals.
We fixed it.
Oh yay.
Everything is back to normal. So, Arjan, as you are convincing Caelum that somebody could rest on this trip, somebody could use a snoozle, that is where we are going to switch over to Gwen. I'm assuming LB's super excited to find out what has happened to her sweet character while she's been gone. You're muted somehow. Nope.
We're
No.
Am I
Very,
There it is.
okay,
You're a little
very
quiet.
quiet.
Can you hear me now? Okay.
Yes,
Make
we
sure
can
it's
hear
your mic that's actually the input.
For sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Fuck. All right, go.
Okay, so Gwen, as far as you are aware, yesterday prior, you had been in the woods with your friends. Everything was going the way that it was supposed to be. You had been given two kinds of blessings of safe passage, once from a Doulahan named Talon, and the other by the Lady Ashwood, a newly installed forest guardian near the Hollow Lock ruins. Now, since as you were on your way out, there was a thick fog that almost seemed like clouds rolling in around your party's encampment, and it was at that point that you heard a door open and shut, and out came a blue-skinned earth genasi that had hair like sapphires growing out of their head. And when they approached you, they said that they had your letter, as was expected, to receive by your Cloud Giant patron. Upon reading this letter, you realize that, hey, this is bullshit. This is not a letter at all. This is a summons, and the time was as soon as possible. So in a very fortuitous manner, as you had just gotten done with all of the heavy things regarding Dendar, you were taken by this individual to join the Cloud Giant Gala. And in doing this, you followed your Earth Genasi friend into the clouds, and as you continued to walk, he opened up a door, and inside of this door, you could actually see that there was the Cloud Giant Castle that you had been in previously. And walking through, he ended up taking you once again into the foyer. At that point, you were regrettably removed of all of your gear, even though there was words that were raised about this, to which you were told that sunflowers don't have battle axes. You aren't going to have a battle axe with you when you are going to be a sunflower for tonight's gala. It was at that point that a green leotard was pressed into your service, and for the next probably hour and a half or so, different hairdressers of medium and smaller size took the time necessary to make your hair stand out as large as it possibly could. Once you got into this green leotard, there was a large clip along the back of it, and at a certain point, when it was time for the gala, your Cloud Giant sire came in, scooped you up, and attached you onto his front pouch pocket, and said, "I'm so glad you could join at such short notice."
How's he looking?
He is looking to the tens. He seems to have taken the extra time to really make sure that his nails were all manicured and pedicured correctly. It seems like he is wearing this very almost it's similar to Shakespearean times clothing, where it's very much poofy sleeves, poofy pants. Everything seems to have this very poofy attitude to it. And you can see that his hair, even though it is made of clouds, has been kind of formed back. He's trying to make himself look as appealing as possible during this gala, it would seem.
Lovely, lovely. How's my sound?
It's good. Sounds a little muffled, but other than that,
Okay.
good.
All right. I'm here. I'm back. You looking good, dude. So what is this thing that we're doing?
Oh, it's the gala. You were so curious about it beforehand. I figured that you would want to be front and center for most of it.
Solid. So am I supposed to be quiet as jewelry?
Jewelry doesn't talk.
That's gonna be really hard for me, dude.
Well, I hate to admit it, but there's a problem.
What?
Socially accepted Cloud Giant rule. If the jewelry speaks during the gala, as is part of our tradition, your service will be extended.
Shit. Okay. All right. I will do my best, dude.
Please. Sire.
But you don't need to, oh, sorry, sire.
Yes.
You don't want me to be your wingman at all? Because I'm really good at getting people laid.
Oh, I will have no trouble
Oh, all right, cool.
appeasing any member of any sex. Have you seen me? I'm fabulous.
Yes, solid. I like what you did with the clouds. Looking good.
Thank you.
All right, so when should I stop talking?
Right about, and he just sort of taps your head a little bit. Now. And at that, you see, as you have been prepping, it seems like you have been in this almost kind of fugue state. You look out the window and you just see that it's clouds passing by, almost like when you're in the middle of a cloud field, when you're inside of an airplane or anything similar to that. There's no real passage of time. There is just the passage of similar textured things until eventually you see that the clouds have stopped. They have turned into a kind of vibrant pinkish color. It seems almost like you are parked inside of a sunset with this very fabulous looking array of colors out back. And this Cloud Giant ends up going over to the entryway to his castle, opens up the large door ahead of him. Or he seems to open it up. You see him move his hand like he is opening up an automatic door and wanting to believe himself to have mind powers. But when you look down, you can see that there is about a dozen small humanoids, all with pulleys and cranks to open up the door for him. And that is when you are brought into the gala. This Cloud Giant puts on a masquerade mask that you can see makes him look like a cat. Almost. It has the little cat nose on the bottom. It has the whiskers drawn on it, as well as very large cat ears. And he again floats in, and as you are stuck inside, just body arms straight to your side, legs straight down, just looking out, you see that there are at least 20 other Cloud Giants. that you're able to count. It's very difficult because some of them have similar masks. You spot that there is another cat that is also here, which doesn't make Meronimbus happy at all. And it is around this time that they begin fraternizing. They seem to be catching each other up on their latest winnings, on as they describe them, figures that have been added to the collection, which you then realize is servants that have been not enslaved, because that's extra steps, but very much made to be servants of these cloud giants as a result for losing bets. And as you are kind of getting a real sense of the Cloud Giant society, make a insight check. Or perception, whichever one's higher.
Forgot how like stingy these dice are. Perception or what?
Or insight.
Insight. Perception is 16.
Okay. Based on what you've heard, about a third of all of those that have found themselves in indentured servitude to the Cloud Giants came from the same place, the same proprietor. And that was things that make you say, wow, it seems like these are bad bettors who failed on their debts.
Solid.
As the fraternizing continues, you see that Meronimbus is really hitting it off with, it looks like a lobster mask. Like, it's like the mask itself kind of comes up to a point where you can see the tail of a lobster that goes down, and kind of framing his mouth are these two claws that come down off of the side. And this figure is wearing a nice pendant that looks like a dodecahedron, and inside of the dodecahedron is this very angry looking goblin that is just smashing his hands against the inside of this jeweled piece. And Meronimbus, while he is hitting it off, you can tell that he seems like there's a little bit of hoity-toityness going around with, oh, your jewelry is acting up. Social standing. And with that, I would like for you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, jeez.
To try and remain quiet during this event.
Good thing I'm lucky, because that was a 1.
Ugh.
It's a 2! No! Why have you betrayed me, dice? It's a 2.
Okay. Make a stealth roll to see how quiet you are in regards to what you do say.
I rolled a 1, a 2, and now I rolled a 3. That's a 4.
Well, 17 more rolls and we'll finally get there. With your 4, what do you say rather loudly at this Cloud Giants Gala that will garnish the attention of several Cloud Giants that are around Meronimbus?
I'm gonna say something to him, and then it's gonna get really quiet, and then as I shout, yeah, no, I really like the lobster dude. He's like, I think you're totally in. Something like that.
And at that, you see that there are several other Cloud Giants that look your way, and you can see some of them even bringing up their hands in front of their faces, and about 3 of them, almost in unison, all just they seem to be laughing in Meronimbus's direction, and you can see that his complexion goes from this very light blue to a very deep, tumultuous-looking gray color, and you feel his gaze come down towards you and just says, "Jewelry does not speak here." And he excuses himself over to the drink table. And throughout the event, He seems to have gotten quite a bit of ire from the other cloud giants for having such misbehaved jewelry. But you see that overall, the lobster ends up going with somebody else. But you see that there is an individual. It seems like the other cat-masked individual has struck up conversation with Meronimbus as well. And it is at that point that you see them kind of having quieter conversation that you, being so close, can definitely get an earful of. And it is... it's basically them courting each other, saying that when the clouds come in, that they will be over by the punch bowl, come find them, that sort of thing. And they part ways, and after about 20 minutes or so, you see that there are other giants that are present at this event. You see that there are about 3 of them, whereas the cloud giants are roughly around 25 to 27 feet tall. These giants are about 20 feet tall, 22 feet tall. Their skin is also kind of this lightish blue color, but they all have very large white beards that are expertly stylized to look similar to clouds. But for the most part, the coarse nature of their hair wasn't actually able to convey that properly. But they each come by with a large glass bowl that has, that you would know in giant 1, 2, and 3 written, kind of etched into these large bowls. And as they come around, you see all of the giants begin to remove their rings, remove their necklaces. You end up getting plucked and then placed into one of these large bowls. And it seems like these bowls are used to just collect the jewelry of these cloud giants. And then they are brought off to the side towards the back of the room. And as the frost giants are walking from your space inside of this bowl, you can see that the room is beginning to fill with very heavy clouds and fog. And as the fog kind of continues to rise, you see that these cloud giants, or at least the silhouettes of them, are beginning to neck and hug and get a little bit more physical. But as their physicality increases, the cloud cover seems to completely block out whatever it is that they have going on.
Fuck. Come on. She's trying to clear away some of the stuff in front of her.
And as you are trying to clear some of the stuff away, you hear, "It's not that impressive, it's just regular, but they're bigger." And you see, looking over, is a high elf that has very light blue tinted skin. Their hair is white that kind of has these icy blue colors towards the tips. And they are wearing just these kind of deep reddish robes. And you recognize this as Goliath, the necklace that had been worn by Meronimbus the first time that you had actually encountered him. And then as he's kind of shaking his cage, you hear a "Ah!" And you look down, and deeper in the bowl is this beholder that has somebody's foot currently sticking into their central eye.
Oh, shit. I can't move, can I?
You can currently move your arms and legs. It seems like you are only jewelry when you are being worn.
Oh, shit. Should we help him?
He'll be fine. He's my familiar. He's used to things like this.
You have a beholder as a familiar? That's fucking
Well,
boss.
he's a gazer. It got a little bigger, but yeah. I guess.
Right. Sorry, what was your name again?
I'm Goliath.
Goliath, Gwen.
How
Are you
long have you
okay?
been here? No, I'm not okay. It's been years.
Oh my
years
god.
I've been here.
What did you do? How much did you gamble away?
I don't want to talk about it.
All right, dude. I mean, sorry. I've only been here for the day.
That's all they're keeping you?
I stopped betting after that. Oh.
Low stakes. Low stakes is what you had.
Yeah, also I have
fell off
freedom.
a boat. I fell off a boat. There was a kraken. It was gonna eat me. And then all of a sudden this dude shows up and says, play for your life. And so I did. Because it's either death or this. And guess what? I should have chosen death.
Oh, buddy. All right. Well, where are you from? Why don't you tell me about your past a little bit so it's not so terrible?
I'm from the Sword Coast. Have you ever been there?
No. Where's that?
Doesn't matter.
Wait. I've heard of that. One of my friends, one of my big old Goliath dude is from there. Kronk, do you know him?
No. I've been here.
Oh.
I've been here for probably longer than you've been alive.
So, like, you're gonna be here forever, or, like, almost...
See, that's the thing with betting your life and having a really long lifespan as an elf.
Yeah.
Bad choices.
Is there anything I can do to help you?
You could let me out.
I don't think I could actually do that.
You could break the cage. You could free me.
Oh.
It dampers my magic.
I feel like if I do this, it's gonna backfire on me. What would Cori do?
And when you say, I feel like it's going to backfire terribly, you hear it. It will! It will backfire! I've seen it happen! Seen it many times! And you look over, and it is the goblin that was inside of the red dodecahedron.
Uh-huh.
And he just seems to be saying, not Goliath get free. Others with magic get free during situation like this. Motions out towards the fog. You want to know what happens?
Yeah.
I die.
Oh.
Much better stay here. Learn the game. Win your freedom. Prove goblins are smarter than giants.
How's that going for you, dude?
Click-clack owes 60 years he knows he does not have.
Oh, shit. Well, like, this is fun, though. Like, we get some time to ourselves and get to hang out and talk. Tell stories.
What stories do you have? You are new here.
Yes, I am. I could... are we gonna get in trouble for talking here?
No, they are too busy.
All right,
and the
sweet.
stewards do not care. And you see
cool.
Click-clack gives 2 middle fingers towards the frost giant steward that is just holding this glass bowl, and you see, and their eyes are wide, just like looking anywhere but in front of them, like trying to just like find your happy place.
Yeah.
Think of the deep sea.
Yeah, Gwen is gonna tell the story of how she defeated Gengar, the god.
Okay.
In her Gwen story way.
Make a performance check.
Okay. Performance is an 8. We're getting there, guys. We're warming up. We're getting there.
So Click-clack is enamored by this. And he says, Gwen the Godslayer! Gwen the Godslayer! And as he does, he starts like tapping at the dodecahedron, but Goliath just looks at you and says, you can't kill gods. Believe me, I've tried. It doesn't work well.
I mean, he was gone, wasn't he? And
That
I
doesn't
made
mean that they're dead.
Well, I mean, he's not there anymore, and Tarlayan was gone too, which means we did something.
Who?
A big old dragon duder.
Why does it matter if a dragon's gone? There are loads of dragons.
We don't know, not where we come from. There's only one. Well, there's one and one that was inside someone's body.
Was?
Yeah, he's gone now. I don't know. There's a big story behind it. I'm not sure what happened, but, you know, magic.
Click-clack. Click-clack knows. Not where dragon go. Don't look for them.
Oh.
Scary. Breathes fire or acid or frost or lightning. All bad.
Yeah.
All of them bad.
Yeah.
Godslayer.
Yeah. While we're having this moment, is there anything you guys want me to bring back to like letters or anything, word, since I'm gonna be...
And Goliath looks at you, and he kind of gives some shifty eyes and says, it's going to seem weird.
Uh-huh.
I need you to take my finger.
Look, I've done this joke before. I grew up with Goliath. It's not gonna work,
He
dude.
pops off his right ring
Oh,
finger
shit.
from his hand. And you see
fuck.
that there is, that it looks like there is a little metal port where it is. And the finger itself also has little metallic bits.
Ah, cool. Is this magic?
Yes. So I need you to be very careful with it.
Uh-huh.
Just take it to the material plane. I'll be popping in for a visit to get it back.
All right, sweet.
And then Click Clack just goes, take Click Clack's finger! Take Click Clack's! And he starts like trying to
Oh,
pull
no,
at
no.
his own fingers.
No, Click Clack. No, it's not worth it. I don't think it works like that.
All right, so you have acquired Goliath's right ring finger. Click Clack seemed very sad about not being able to go with you either.
So she'll have a moment with Click Clack, like, all right, dude, I'll probably be back, and I'll come visit, okay?
He says, free me.
I'll do what I can.
Higher stakes, you win. I leave.
We'll see.
And then he just like scrapes his goblin nails on the inside of the dodecahedron. Just says, I'll be waiting.
Solid, dude. I just kind of turn.
And as you turn, your bodily movements on top of the other pieces of jewelry beneath send that boot that was in Mr. Blinky's eye even deeper, and he just shrieks louder. And it is around that point you have been in these glass bowls now for maybe 45 minutes, closer to an hour. It doesn't smell great in this room. It did at the beginning.
It's worse, I'm sure.
It does not now. But as you hear the sounds kind of all coming to an end, and the fog and clouds begin to clear, it seems like they're also using a combination of gust of wind spells to actually clear out any kind of rank scent that would be here as well, until eventually you just see all of these figures wearing their masks as they were before, many of which you had seen had been like a deeper blue when starting out this gala, are now a very relaxed kind of pale blue color. It seems like everyone here has this very relaxed posture about them, and it is at that point that the stewards then go around returning jewelry, and it seems like Click Clack is actually then picked up by Nimbus and actually is then setting into his pocket. It seems like at some point Click Clack has made his way into Nimbus's collection. After you all are returned, all of the cloud giants go off to different corners of the room where you see the walls that are made of these clouds dissipate and actually form different entryways, almost as if each one of them had just parked their castle up to a main location, and now they are all flying and sailing away. At that point, Nimbus then leaves you to the groomers once again. You are cleaned, your hair is straightened and brushed as best as it can be, the dirt is removed from your fingers and toenails, and you feel halfling clean, but like Green Reach clean, not halfling the Gwen that we all know and love clean. Your things are given to you. All of your clothes have been washed. All of your bags have been washed. Again, everything is just immaculate. And there is a loud as the valet, Anthony, that was there with you earlier, is going to then lead you back out onto the material plane.
Solid.
The three of you who are all in your cart, as you are having this conversation about Caelum, sleep on the cart. I don't want to sleep on the cart. I'm not tired. Sleep on the cart. That is when the clouds around you begin, or it seems like there is this thick mist that rolls in that then becomes heavy as if by clouds, and you hear a loud thudding noise, the sound of a door opening, and then Gwen, you just get kind of strong-armed out, and the door closes behind you, and then you watch as the clouds then recede and dissipate as Gwen is returned to you. Not a hair missing from her head except for the split ends that got brushed out.
That's not how split ends work.
Nope.
Savages!
Oh my god, go back.
What? What? How did they look? Because remember, LB is a method actor, and I have no idea what happened while I was gone.
All right, so Arjan has two very large wings on his back.
Oh, shit!
So to start off there, Cori has returned to her moon form, so she is no longer the black and grays. She seems to have taken on that form of light. Caelum looks very sad. And all of them reek of brimstone.
Oh my god! So what the fuck happened to you guys? Arjan, you have wings! What the can you fly?
Coriander's gonna face step over to Gwen and pick her up and hug her.
Ah, I smell great.
Wait, does that hurt
smell
people?
really nice.
Thanks.
The moon form one does not.
Okay.
Does not hurt her. However, you could roll a saving check to get baned.
I want to get baned.
I think it's someone I choose, and I choose not to because Gwen is my ally.
Yay! What the fuck happened to you guys? Caelum, and I'm gonna squeal out of Cori's hands. She'll pat Cori as she walks by. She's gonna like jump up and like look at his face and like pull on the bags under his eyes. Dude, what the fuck happened?
He's been doing magic things again.
And he also stayed up all night. So we're trying to get him to go to sleep on the cot.
Caelum, either you'll go to sleep or I'm gonna knock you out so you'll go to sleep.
Rather than not do that, so crawls back onto the cart, lays down on the floor, stares at like the slat of wood in front of him.
All right, so what happened while I was gone, guys? She'll hop down and like go and start playing with Arjan's wings. Can you feel this? Can you feel that?
Yes. Ow.
Come on, story, let's go.
I mean, there's not a lot to tell. After you left, we were traveling, and then, there is a lot to tell.
I got to kill a deep crow.
A what?
A deep crow?
Like, is that like a normal crow, but like brown?
No, not at all.
They're predatory hunters from the Underdark, and they're pretty huge.
That doesn't sound like sleeping.
And apparently they also nest in Phlegethos.
The where?
Phlegethos?
That.
Legathos.
Wait, where's that?
Hell.
So they were here? Why were they here?
No, we went to the house.
You what?
So my understanding is that Arjan has a deal to put Tarlean with a devil. Has a deal with the devil being Tarlean?
No, the devil. Wait, is my deal with Tarlean or is it with Noel?
Your deal.
I should know who I signed my soul away to.
So,
Oh,
Your initial deal to get to get Tarlean back onto his throne was not a deal. It was just two people sitting around a table talking about stuff that they wanted to have happen. Then it was presented that that there was an inventor in the Hells who was willing to possibly build a exoskeleton, a mech kind of like structure, out of green steel by the name of Odd Stone Mantle. You guys, so your contract is then with the Stone Mantle family for the acquisitioning of this large structure.
Well, I don't have a deal with the Stone Mantle Devils.
They, from what you saw, he was a floating skull.
I don't think I've made a deal with a devil.
An entity that lives in the Hells. So he's got a deal with one of those, and it was going to be very expensive. So we decided to do something different, which was to get some deep crow eggs for his grandchild.
great-grandchild.
That's correct. So we did, and now we're back. And we don't have to spend all of that money, which honestly was a little out of our depths, especially if we're going to afford 3 more keeps.
4 more keeps.
4? Don't we already have one?
We can't go back.
We can't go back to it.
And for now.
Cori, you're glowing.
Mm-hmm. Yes, no, I can still do Moon Maiden, evidently. It's not a season. It's a soul.
What about Christmas? Can you do Christmas?
What the fuck is a Christmas?
Oh, right, so not Christmas. The holiday spirit. Do you still have the holiday spirit?
I don't believe in Santor.
Caelum, puts himself up, and then... So, remember that trance with Oliviette way back when? We brought Oliviette into...
Oh, no, okay. Yeah.
No.
Sorry.
So...
I've been told I've made a few mistakes.
Cori, Oliviette, and I decided to do a trance on the Moon Dancer,
Right? Mm-hmm.
her ship, and the Ravens came and stole the spirit of the holidays, and so we've got to take that back. And I'm going back down here.
Yes, we will have to speak with good old RQ about that when we visit her.
All right. Cool. Sounds like fucking crazy. Remember how we have this thing where we don't make deals with Fae? I feel like maybe we should have the same rule about people in the Hells.
Well, fiends are kind of out of my wheelhouse. I don't have a lot of knowledge or influence over those.
Right. So I know a little bit, and my knowledge is don't fucking make deals with devils.
No, that is absolutely correct. You should not make deals with devils.
Or demons.
Or demons.
All right. I'm tired. I smell weird, and I'm gonna go to wait, where are we?
Same place you left.
Oh, literally?
Oh, did we get moving yet?
It has been 2 days since Gwen left.
Oh god. Sorry, time works differently for me. Or at least it did in the Feywild, and therefore I don't understand time.
Arjan, where are we? What day is it?
I will tell her where we are and what day it is.
Okay. And Gwen, based off the general location that Arjan is giving you, you know that you have another 3 days until you exit the woods, and then only another 2 days until you actually can make it back to your Goliath tribe.
All right, Sal, let's get this bitch on the road unless it's time to sleep. Then what time of day is it?
It's early morning.
All right, let's get this bitch on the road. Sorry, Bess. Meg? What's her name?
Olbeth.
Olbeth. Yeah, I got it right first time. Solid. Okay, I've seen a lot of stuff, guys. I know you've had an adventure, but I've had an adventure too. Let's go.
Okay. So as you all hop onto your cart and start your trek forward, that is where we are going to go into our break for the evening. So I would like to say thank you to everybody who has decided to stop by and join us so far. Thank you to LB for being able to make it to the game. I'm so happy I don't have to try and roleplay Gwen, because
You did a great job.
Oh, well, thank you.
When I was listening to it, you pretty much said exactly what I was thinking.
Well, you don't get to doing over 50 sessions with the same group for nothing. So, we're going to try and be back in 5 to 10 minutes, so don't go no place unless it is to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, or possibly go to bit.ly/adventure merch, pick yourself up something nice. Otherwise, feel free to leave us a review, comment, all sorts of things. I watch the YouTube comments. I look at them. They're fun. And we'll see you guys shortly. All right, everybody. See you soon!
Hey, Steven.
What?
Hey, Steven.
What?
Ask me what I have.
What do you have?
A knife!
No! So, that you didn't threaten me at all. There. Now we've established it. There was non-threatening action. So, yes, welcome back. You guys are now on the road setting out. You've covered a little bit of ground as to what happened with your trips to the Hells. Is there anything else that you guys would like to talk about or kind of question about each other as you have 5 days until you feel like you will get to your actual destination?
I just want to kind of throw out there, since we know, I don't think Arjan was ready to address it whenever he brought it up. But yeah, he's going to bring up that, like, hey, y'all remember that song that we kind of helped make? I kind of need to do that like 5 more times.
What do you mean? There's only 4 of us, though.
And Cybra just sort of like,
oh my gosh, I cannot believe I forgot about you, Cybra.
Rude.
And it also has been 5 days. Caelum must have gotten a long rest by then.
He's only slept for 2 of them.
2 days total?
Actually, Coriander has not slept for 2 of them as well. Or like, I mean, she only slept for 2 of them as well. And then for the rest of the time, she doesn't sleep. Or trance.
What the fuck is going on with these guys? I'm gonna talk to Arjan privately. First. Hey, Arjan?
Yeah.
I don't think I've said it yet, because a lot of shit has happened, but I am sorry that I went into that trance with Caelum and Cori. I know that it kind of left you outside alone. I didn't mean to, obviously, but I just kind of feel bad because you got hurt.
I mean, it's fine.
Are you okay?
I think I will be.
Do you want him back?
I don't know.
All right. I mean, whatever you decide, man. Your
I think
body.
so.
You do?
Not. I don't know. It's complicated.
Yeah, it's a lot of our group's problems.
So how? Have you already explained like what was going on? Or-
With the Cloud Giant?
Yeah.
She probably gave a brief overview of the situation in not a lot of detail.
How are you feeling after all that?
I mean, I feel a little cheated because I didn't actually get to see anything. But also, like, I kind of feel bad for the people there, but it is kind of their fault. There's a lot of emotions going on. Mostly, it's a not my problem situation that I'm trying to... Because we have a lot of problems in our little group. There are other things for me to focus on. But if I could get a Cloud Giant as one of our friends, that would be pretty boss.
Yeah, it would be. We need a lot of allies.
Yeah, seems like we do.
I'm so tired.
Yeah, speaking of, like, are they sleeping or trancing or anything? Have you noticed?
Caelum's staying up a lot more than he has been. He says that he's trying to unpack stuff, but he hasn't been the same since he's gone to the Hells. And I think it's because of his overcharging.
Yeah. Do we need to have another talk with him about that?
Yeah. I think we do.
All right. I have a good idea. When we get to my tribe, I know the perfect person to talk to him about it.
Oh God, what are you going to do?
Nothing. I'm just going to scare him a little bit. It's fine.
Should I trust you on this?
Have you ever not been able to trust me?
Go ahead.
Solid. Let's have let's wait. Let's see if we can get them to sleep, and if not, we'll talk to them after we meet up with the tribe. Cool.
Okay.
Sweet. Finger gun away.
During the trip, Caelum's been mostly keeping to himself. But on the 2 nights he did sleep, one was a visit to the library to do the draconian research, and the second one was to Brother Groom. So it was a full 8 hours.
Okay. So to the library, make a history check again.
Natural 20 for a grand total of 28.
Nice. All right. So what you know about the Draconians, which is actually quite a lot at this point anyways, is that they are not an organic race. They are not actually, in terms of being capable of reproduction, it seems like that is actually one of the things that is stifled about their race. In that, in order to create more of these Draconians, you need to have powerful magic, and you need to have dragon's eggs. And it seems like the eggs are actually malformed via this kind of more darkly aligned magics to then turn them from a full-fledged dragon creature into this more smaller formed draconian. Usually when there are draconians, they will come in batches, as usually the wizards that would typically do this kind of thing would either kill the dragon that was trying to nourish over and actually like protect their nest, or they would convince a dragon to possibly consider being a Draco Lich down the line, and then use these eggs to create almost like a reign of super soldiers with them, as these figures are in a way fully dragon, but in a way also human. Not necessarily human, but more humanoid, much in the way that we know Dragonborn today. And it seems like they have a similar lifespan to humans. They will live to be about 80, 90 before they start actually fully breaking down. As a lot of what the Draconians are about is utilizing the raw elemental powers that are harnessed from dragons to kind of fuel themselves for so long. So they are in their prime for that 80 years, and then once they hit old age, then it is just a quick deterioration as their connection to that source just fades.
Okay. Scribbles the notes down when he wakes up, hands them to Arjan. There's no comments in the margin or like tiny doodles inside that normally accompanies those.
He doesn't really, like, he flips through it and like sort of like double glances at you, but doesn't really otherwise comment on it. Just thanks, Caelum.
Okay, and then the second night was Brother Groon.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you end up going to sleep, and it takes you a little bit. It seems like you actually have to seek him out at this point, rather than just being directly taken to him. Make a history check.
Natural 1, so that's a 9.
Okay. So yeah, no matter how much you seek for Brother Groon, you can't seem to find him except for your study. And your study being different than the actual tables and desks and everything set up in the Temple of Saloon, this seems like it is a much more private area. It seems almost like a stone room, no larger than 20 feet across in all dimensions. And you can see that there are very few books that are actually on the shelf at this point. You see that there is one that you know very well at this point, which is the journal that you've been keeping. And it seems like this is the dream version of that journal, whereas instead of having a lot of the crossing outs to replace any kind of spelling or anything like that, as you have learned about it along the way, it seems like this is much more like a finished product of that book. And yeah, overall, it does not seem like there are no doors to this place. There are no real windows to look out of. It is just a study.
Caelum walks up to the journal and flips to the last couple of pages just to see what it says. And
over the last few pages, or these last set of days that you have had, it seems like there are spots that are redacted, but you're not necessarily sure who redacted them. And as you look on, it says, and that is when and you see it says redacted over where it would normally say overcharged. My spells in order to do this, then X and X and X happened. And where you describe the list of magical effects, each one of those is also redacted.
Confusion. Closes the book and like just sits down in like an armchair that's there. Yeah.
Make a Arcana check.
Dirty 20.
Okay, you are familiar enough with a dream space to know that should you focus on elements of it, you would be able to manipulate it how you see fit. So depending on what chair you want, with your modified 20, you can rearrange the furniture and have the furniture be whatever you would like for it to be within your study.
He conjures a simple wooden chair, and on one of the walls just opens a window, sits down, stares out of it.
Okay, and where is this window looking towards?
Probably that hill over Shroudport.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good. And then, yeah, your night goes by rather uneventfully, having failed to seek out Brother Groon. So then moving into your first day outside of the forest, winter definitely has much more sway outside of the woods than it did on the inside. It seems like even though it has been getting colder, you are now seeing a lot more snow on the ground. You can see that the sky above you is very gray and generally overcast, but for the most part, it's still pleasant. It's still crisp. It's not this very oppressive cold that, Cori, you fear so much. So your first day outside of the woods ends up coming to an end. Gwen, I would like for you to make an Arcana check with proficiency.
Okay. With advantage?
Yeah, proficiency bonus.
Oh, good. What's that right now? What are we at? 3? So 2. Well, it's a 15.
Okay, sounds good. So with the 15, you have now, having spent some time along the road, from what you're seeing, there is something that's weighing on Caelum, but it doesn't seem to necessarily be entirely emotional. There are moments, there are spots where kind of as you just look at him, as there's nothing really much else to do than to occasionally look at your party members on a 5-day cart ride, going north in the hopes that you find your people. But it seems like there is almost like a shimmering form that will appear above him every once in a while, much in the same way that you have the shimmering form of Grayskull appear over you from time to time. Mm-hmm. And it seems that it's whenever Caelum has a very deep sigh, or it seems like he is just kind of experiencing this more sorrowful moment of apathy.
A Grayskull?
Yeah, what's up, tough stuff?
You seeing this?
And Grayskull kind of squints his eyes. Gray-skinned elf? Possibly drow.
No, the that's Caelum. He's one of our travel buddies,
yes,
remember?
He is.
Okay, no, the shimmering form that has been like shimmering around him every once in a while.
And he will try. Now that you mention it, I mean, there has been a little thing here and there.
You seeing anybody in the spirit world?
No, not really. I mean, there's nobody dead or anything like that. Has he had some sort of change go on with him lately? He seems really glum.
Yeah, he did the magic thing. Remember when that unicorn showed up that one
Oh,
time?
yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was fucking weird. Okay, so random stuff happens when he, like, tries to do really powerful magic. And I think this is one of those things.
Uh-huh.
That's about it. That's all I got.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you knew more. Okay. Right. Well.
It's wild.
All I know is, well, when people come back from dangerous situations, sometimes things get weird about them, and then it's usually up to the Skycaller to say, oh, that's actually not weird, that's because you almost died, or because you did die, and now we brought you back. Is something like that happen to him?
I guess that's kind of, I mean, he went to the hells.
That's awesome. What? Are they holding out on us?
I know. We didn't even get to see anything of that stupid Cloud Giant party.
I can hear this conversation. Well, just Gwen's part.
Yeah.
Like, deadpan looking at you as you're speaking with Grayskull.
I mean, yeah, it was just like total ripoff. I totally didn't even get to see anything. It's,
Next time.
Calum. What's up, dude? I'm just having a chat with Grayskull.
I hear.
Shit, I gotta remember that I can talk to you in my head.
Oh fuck, I always just assumed that this was some sort of like cognitive dissonance where everybody around you just sort of assumed that you were staring and really we were talking. Have you been saying everything out loud this whole time?
Yes, I'm not used to speaking in my head, Grayskull.
God, you are the absolute best.
Yeah. Anyways, Caelum, I'm concerned.
Yep. A lot of people are concerned.
How are you feeling?
Honestly, I don't know.
Emotionally?
Unmotivated, I guess. Like, when I get up from sleep, it's really hard for me to just do what I normally do.
Escapism. I don't know what that's like. Has that happened before?
Not with you guys. Normally, it's get up, do my meditation to get my spells back, clean up. I could do that just fine. Now it's just like, I don't know. I feel sluggish all the time.
Is it like a magic thing?
Maybe in the hells, I guess Arjan told you. I overheard that. Had overcharged some magic and it didn't turn out too good. Well, I don't know. I didn't die, so I guess that's a plus.
That's a huge plus. Because if you had died while I was gone, we would have had a whole nother mission to find your soul.
Oh no, actually, if I would have died, then I would have been reincarnated. I would have known about that effect, right? I would have felt something.
We're not sure.
We're not sure. Yeah, redact that.
What?
What? I don't know. It just a lot of this surge felt different. Like a lot of things happened at once.
Yeah.
The unicorn came back.
Cool.
So did some flumps. They got smoked by some lightning.
How overcharged did you do this?
Just the one. I can only do just the one.
So it was a big one. Do you feel like it was the right thing to do?
The Dark Crow had pinned Arjan to the ground, and we needed it dead. Or else, since, Tarlane isn't here, Arjan already died. For real. So, yeah, I think it's the right call.
Alright, then don't beat yourself up about it.
That's the thing, I'm not beating myself up about it. I feel like it's the right call. Like, what I did was what I had to do at the time.
Cool. So it's probably magic?
Probably.
Want me to take you to a whorehouse?
I'll pass. Thanks.
Did he smile? Did he smile at the whorehouse comment?
There is like a slight upturn on one of his cheeks.
It's progress. It's progress. You know what? I if I can, I need your help with something. I need help practicing my sword skills, or not my sword skills, my axe skills. But like, I just need help because I need someone to spar with. And Cori's fine. She just talks a lot, and I love her. But when I'm sparring, I kind of want to focus on the fighting part and not on the talking part.
Maybe some other time, Gwen.
All right, I know you're feeling down, and I'm not going to attack you. But if you need anything, or if like you need alcohol, do you need alcohol?
I'm fine. Thanks.
All right, well, I'm gonna drink. So she just opens up her thing and starts pouring it in a glass.
Sounds good. All right, so yeah, you guys finish out the remainder of your day, and then go into the next day without any real issue. And as you head into the hills, Gwen, you begin to start remembering these areas. You have definitely been here before, and as you lead your party members to where you believe the Goliaths to have made their encampment, make a survival check.
Cool. Are we within a couple miles, I think? That's +3. That's a 13.
Okay. Yeah, you believe that you are within a couple miles.
Okay, Gwen is gonna get on top of the cart. Hey, Rocco. Let's scoot back a little bit. I just don't want to be too close to the mic. And she's just gonna, all right, hold on, guys. And she's gonna, push off of whoever is, driving the cart so she can get on top. And she's gonna get up there. She's just gonna,
Ow.
and then she's gonna stop.
What are we doing?
Make a perception check. You can all make perception checks.
Ooh.
Natural 20.
Nice.
Dirty 20.
18.
Perception. 10.
Okay. Arjan, you are the only one who does not hear this. The rest of you hear.
Gwen's foot is in my eye.
Yeah.
Off in the distance, maybe by about a mile or so, you hear that same call, just the echoing across the plains.
Gwen is gonna take Arjan's head and she's gonna turn it in the direction. Go that way.
And as you direct the cart into that direction, you go, oh yeah. No, as Phoenix pointed out in chat, Cyber's going crazy at this. This sounds like all sorts of doggos. She is just howling, seeing as how other people are barking. So after about 15 minutes or so, you feel the ground beginning to rumble, and coming over a hillside near you, you see that there are roughly about 6 Goliaths that are all on the back of what look to be these very large oxen. Gwen, you would know these to be aurochs, and these Goliaths, as they make their way over, they all have the same kind of ritualistic tattoos that you do as well. And one of them says, "Hail, traveler!
Gwen's gonna hide
Who
behind
here?
Arjan.
Who here knows?"
Gwen pops out. Hey!
And at that, it goes from a very serious expression to, "Oh, it's Gwen! Hello! I never thought we'd see you again!" And a lot of them just, yeah!
Gwen's gonna jump off on one of them and start jumping from one to the other and hugging them.
Yeah, and they all kind of give you these embraces, and you see leading this pack coming up from the back is actually a very familiar figure to you. It is your Goliath brother Toriso.
Okay, Gwen's gonna jump down, and then she's gonna wait for him to get down, and then she's gonna do the thing she always does, which is she's gonna hop off his foot, hop off his knee, hop off his hip, hop off his shoulder, and hug his face.
Yeah, and he just kind of squeezes you into this big hug.
How are you, dude?
It's been so long since I've been able to see you. This is incredible.
I'm so happy. Oh, these are my friends.
And he just kind of has you tucked up on his shoulder, just, hello, friends. I am Toriso. I am Gwen's big brother.
Hello.
Biggest brother.
Yeah, biggest brother. That's Cori. She's the shiny one.
Shiny
Caelum,
Cori.
he's the sad one.
Sad Caelum.
Arjan is the scary one.
Scary Arjan.
How are things? What's going on?
Things are things. That is besides the point. Chua will be so happy to see you. She said that she had
Yes.
been talking to you a little bit while you have been gone.
Yeah. Do you want to see something fucking amazing?
Show me.
Put me down.
Sets you back down onto the ground, and the other Goliaths are like, "What is something amazing? Something amazing, you say?" And they all just
Gwen's gonna, she's gonna center herself. She's gonna pull out her axe, and then she's gonna go into a tiny rage, and have Grayskull show up behind her.
And Grayskull, you see, has his arms crossed, and then once he gets to his full height, he just spreads them out so that way all of his tattoos are visible. And the Goliaths all just start cheering. And say, you hear them speaking. They're all actually speaking in Giant at this point, but just saying, "She's found someone! She found someone! Someone found her!" Like...
Oh my god, this is amazing. Oh, can we she's gonna drop the rage. Is it cool if my friends come with us?
Of course. Eros might object, but I am sure it will be fine.
Wait, why does it matter if he objects?
Because he is the chieftain.
I'm sorry, he's a what?
Volgor, after you left, Eros said that letting a halfling in showed that we were weak. Volgor said that it was not weakness, but it was the strength of the heart. So they fought about it, and Volgor is going to join the Keepers of the Core and Vision.
Does that mean he's dead?
No.
Okay, good. So, I just wanted to make sure.
No, basically retired chieftains and anybody who was in a position of power, when they are no longer able to maintain that position of power, they are sent off to join the Keepers.
That's fucking bullshit. He's a dick.
He is a dick, but he has proven himself to be the strongest in the tribe, so it's kind of what we have to deal with.
Yeah, I know.
For the meantime.
Yeah.
Unless you can become chieftain somehow.
Sorry, did you say Keepers of the Core and Vision?
He nods.
Oh.
Why?
Are they within your tribe?
The Keepers are from all tribes. All joints, all knuckles, all clans. Eventually they go and join the Keepers.
Where are they located?
He kind of looks around, tastes his finger, waits for a wind to blow. About 30 days travel that way.
Caelum sits back. Thank you.
25? I don't know. A big number.
Yeah. More for them, right? Tiny legs.
It's fine. Get yourself a nice sturdy auroch.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Cybra, come here. Come here.
Cybra bolts up next to you.
I'm gonna mount up on Cybra. I found him out my size.
And you just... This is incredible. How old is this wolf?
Well, that is a question. Technically, a month old? But, Feywild bullshit? Magic.
If you're dealing with magic and Feywild bullshit, you have done well since leaving the tribe.
I've had so much sex.
Nice. And he just gives puts his fist down for you to pound it. Just gives a gentle fist bump, and the other Goliaths are all just kind of like, nice.
I will tell you all about it later. First, let's go back. Let's get to the tribe. I'm so excited to see everyone.
Okay. So it takes you guys several hours to actually get to the tribe. It seemed like you had managed to actually catch Teriso on a very good out of good fortune, you were able to kind of meet up with him. And God damn it, Cyberwolf. As you no, it's okay. As you guys make your way to the tribe, as you come over one of the hills, you see that this tribe is sprawling. It seems like there are Gwen, you know that this tribe consists of maybe on a bad season anywhere between 150 to 200 Goliaths, and this seems like this is almost at capacity for the number of Goliaths that can actually fit in this tribe. It seems like they have either absorbed some knuckles or had other Goliath camps might not have had as good runnings in with yours, but have since joined into your clan.
Yeah. Sweet.
And eventually you guys are led into this camp. And as you are, you see that there is just it's almost like a field of these stone gray-skinned bodies. All of them just pupilless figures staring at you, each with different tattoos. Some of them very similar to Gwen's. Others in the imagery kind of coming off of more like storms and wildfires and these much more natural kind of tattoos. And then eventually you are directed at a certain point. Teresa will have his men take your cart and say that they'll get a place set up for you and your friends for the evening. But Chua would definitely would like to speak with all of you. And as you guys are brought, you see that towards the backside of where to the far east of the camp from where you guys had entered in, there is a large tent that has been set up, and you can see that there is smoke kind of coming out of the top. And Arjan, in the strangest way, this place almost feels homier than being in any sort of city or town, as everything here is sized for people who are regularly over 7.5 feet tall. So you being a tall person is like, I don't have to duck. All of the shower heads are actually shower heads, not shower chest. This is incredible. Like, everything is built for people of your size.
Steven, this sounds like something you have experience with.
What? Nights in the courtyard. So,
what happened to escapism?
Look, I have to target myself sometimes, right? What you know. So you guys are taken to this large tent, and you can see that it has been pieced together with hundreds of different kinds of animal skins that have all been kind of wrangled together to form almost like a big top styled, where it has kind of high walls and then a lower ceiling coming up versus just being a very tall pointed structure. And as you go in, you see that there is a large ring of what look to be very warm rocks that you see a elderly woman who, if she was standing straight, would probably be closer to 7 feet tall, but she is kind of hunched. You see that she has this long staff that has all sorts of baubles and gourds kind of hanging up from the top of it. And she reaches into one of the pouches and pulls out a dust of sorts and tosses it onto these embered rocks. And when she does, there is a light bluish light that seems to flash up from it for just a brief moment, and then figure just nods to herself. She has a head of very curly white hair that she seems to keep pulled back into a very messy bun to just kind of get out of her eyes. And she is wearing these very, very green and brown colored clothes, almost in the same way that that looking out onto a field would be, where it is, again, just these more muted tones. She's not wearing sleeves, but has these necklaces that are about that go down to a little bit past her chest, and they each have bones and small knickknacks and other things like that kind of placed in them. And this figure looks up over towards Gwen, and Gwen, you know that she's recognizing you, looking at you, but for the rest of you, it's anything, it's really only hard for Arjan to really tell what is being inferred here, as Caelum does not have a separate pupil, and Sclera, Cori does not have separate pupil, and Sclera, and none of the Goliaths do as well. So at this, the figure holding the staff brings her other hand around it and just leans in. It's been a while. It's nice to see you, Gwen. Please,
See you too.
you and your friends, take a seat.
Do you need me to introduce them, or do you already know?
Introductions are always better when they come from somebody and not from when you've gone peeping.
Right. Not that you've done that. This is Coriander, Caelum of the Fallen Leaves, formerly Lower Caelum, but we're not certain where the actual Caelum is.
I'm Lower Caelum, actually.
Right. This is Arjan. Do you have a last name?
No.
Arjan the Terrifying.
What?
And this is Caelum the Sad.
He shrugs.
And Chua goes over and she takes your hand, Cori, and just gently shakes it. She reaches up to extend her hand out to you as well, Arjan. Do you take it? All right. So she shakes your hand as well.
Sorry.
And then Caelum, she extends this very weathered hand out to you as well.
Yeah, polite thing. Shakes her hand.
And as she's shaking it, you feel her hand actually, her grip tighten on your hand. And she looks at you and kind of tilts her head. Why do they call you the Sad?
Recent events, I guess.
How recent? How long have you felt this way? And she kind of drops her hand, and if you let her, she begins kind of touching your face, like one hand on your forehead, the other on your cheek, and just sort of opens it up to get a look at your entirely black eye.
About a week and a half now, I guess.
They went to the hells.
You didn't make any deals, did you?
Not me.
I was not there.
Mercy on whoever signed a contract in the hills. But you... And she kind of pokes your forehead, Caelum. You have not always been sad. And she looks back towards you, Gwen. Has he always been like this in your travels?
No. He's normally a little depressed. But
Why?
we're all a little depressed.
Some sort of magic?
He can do something called overcharging his magic and do bigger things with it, but sometimes weird things happen, like unicorns and fireballs. Was fireballs one of them? I feel like
Cut
fireball.
that one out. Because that's fucked up.
Oh, right.
I'll explain, what happened.
Has anything pervasive like this happened before?
Yeah, he turned into a child.
Yes. And
But
there's
he's-
the laughing thing.
We made it. Well, we got him turned back.
From the
Laughter.
child.
What
From
is
the
the
child.
laughing thing?
In certain situations, like the more serious tones, it feels like it's just funny to me.
And as you say that, she's kind of like lifting up your gums to get a look at your teeth.
That's
She's
just wide
definitely
away.
just like moving your face while you are talking. It's like a dentist asking how your day is while they already have the implements in your mouth.
Please don't speak.
And at that she says, "Just laughing whenever something serious happened. Was this also a recent development?"
Has anyone told me the Raven armor also has the crack smile on it? Or have we just avoided that?
That high.
What?
I can't see that high.
Oh. Cool.
Is this always a thing that happened? Is this recent too?
Recent. Ever since he started doing the overpowering thing.
And Caelum, she takes her stick, her staff, and she just knocks you in the forehead. Sit.
He sits down.
Gwen also sits.
And she just steadily looks over towards you, Arjan, and you, Cori, as well.
Guys, sit down.
Sitting down.
Oh, you meant us too. Sit.
I did not, but I like to flex sometimes.
Yeah, this is Gwen's tribe, all right.
And at that, she squats down so that way she's eye level with all of you. And she says, "This is something we can fix. This is something I am able to fix.
Where's the butt?
But this is something you will have to deal with. These things, I've seen it before, not necessarily from you. As I'm sure Gwen told you, sometimes we bring the dead back to fight on our side. Prolong their moment of dying. When that happens, sometimes things don't work out as well as they should. It's because when they are on the other side, something attaches itself to them. Something negative, something awful. And from what I see in you," she points towards you, Caelum, "you have several of these something awfuls seem to have found their way onto you. I can get them off. I can remove them from your personage. But then you will have to deal with it. Does that make sense?"
Need help, right?
Of course. I would not be the Skywatcher if I could not help.
Let's do it then, I guess.
And at that, she says, "I need you to get near the fire and sit. The others, I'm not sure what or where. Whatever is on your friend will manifest, but be prepared. It will take about 10 minutes to get ready."
Cool. Gwen spins out her axe and she's like, alright, I've killed a ghost before. This shouldn't be that hard.
As the 10 minutes go on, toward the end of it, I would like to light my crossbow.
Okay. Crossbow is lit. Okay.
Pew, 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 pew.
Alrighty. So, Caelum, as you are sitting there, you feel now that Chua has kind of pointed this out of that there's something not necessarily right. You feel that ever since your trip to the Hells, there has been something that's been weighing on you. Not like an emotional weight, but it does feel like you've just been being held down, either held down or held back by some means. And as you try and focus on things that once you had thought about fondly, you feel like those fond memories just sort of seem to seep and leach away from where you are. And it's not like you your mind immediately goes to something negative, it just seems like those positive thoughts end up just getting pulled away. And Chua is spending the time kind of making a large ring of salt, and you see that she has little bits of iron shavings as well that she seems to kind of sprinkle around into this large circle. And at that, you see she goes over and she has a mortar and pestle, and she just begins kind of grinding up some of these plants and herbs that you see that she's kind of taking from different jars and baskets and getting them all together. And she eventually gets together a poultice that she wraps in these very large, thick leaves. And she hands to you, Caelum. And she says, whenever you are ready to meet your internal demons, I guess, just throw into the fire. And at that, she backs up. And you see that she steps out of the circle, and she says, I'll have no power over anything that happens inside of the circle, which is why I'm leaving it to all of you. This is your battle, not mine.
Thank you.
I will make sure that Herois does not... no one draws attention in the meantime. And at that, she backs out of the tent and actually goes out onto the street, leaving the four of you.
All right, let's do this. He throws the poultice into the fire.
Okay, so as you throw the poultice into the fire, the string that was being used to hold it all together ends up kind of coming undone as it frays out, and you see that it actually has stayed connected to your palm. And as the poultice hits onto these embered rocks, they begin to sizzle and pop, and you see that the poultice turns from this deep greenish color into a very rich black texture, and you can see that it is kind of beginning to ooze, and as it does, these large bubbles begin to form and burst, and as they do, noxious fumes then climb up into the air, and they seem to be settling above the fire, just kind of whirling around in this large circle, with the fumes again just sort of billowing up. And as they reach a certain size, you can see you actually hear it before you see it, of these small little chattering voices just and you watch as these four small bipedal creatures just seem to come from out of the smoke. They have two completely pallid eyes on either side of their head, and their mouth is just an entire, almost like a lamprey mouth of just teeth that sort of ring on the inside. It is then, as this smoke continues to billow, that you see that there are two eyes that begin to glow in this deep reddish color as a huge-sized creature actually jumps out from inside of the smoke, and you see that it is in the shape of a boar. And as it looks at you, it seems like there's almost some sort of electrifying energy that seems to wreath out of this creature's mouth. And then as you continue on and you see this large lightning boar and these small little creatures, you see a hand come out from one side of the smoke, another hand comes out, and a head pokes out of the smoke as well, and it looks almost similar to yours in that it has sort of similar features, but then you watch as its cheeks go gaunt and its jaw descends downward about halfway down its chest as the hair upon its head sort of fades away, giving rise to to a cluster of spines along its back. And at this point, I would like for everybody to roll initiative.
How am I feeling, by the way?
You feel like all of the flaws that you have gained through your magical bullshit are present in front of you.
Cool.
Arjan, what'd you get?
6.
Cori, what'd you get?
13.
Caelum, what'd you get?
17.
Gwen, what'd you get?
8.
Okay. Sounds good. All right, so first off is going to be Caelum.
Cool. I don't like me turning into a spine, whatever that is.
The spiny creature.
This spiny creature.
Spiny boy.
Cool. He's going to walk up to the creature and extend his shield arm and cast a spell.
Okay.
Does a 24 hit?
Oh, definitely.
Cool.
What spell you casting?
It's a new spell.
Ooh.
That's damage numbers. Takes 43 force damage.
Oh boy. Okay.
As he puts his hand against its chest, flicks the shield, and the resonance coalesces in the palm and
Damn. Okay. Sounds good. So then next up is Cori. Unless Caelum, you had a bonus action.
Wait, does mobile work like that? It's melee attack, right? Just give me a second. Hold position. Hold position. Wait.
Stay on target.
D&D. Beyond. Mobile. Feet. Sorry. I should know this by now.
With D&D Beyond. It's never been
Well, I
easy.
was looking, but I couldn't bring up the pop-up, so it's there somewhere. I'm very sorry about the technical difficulties.
That's all right.
Melee attack. So melee spell attack would count, or just melee attack?
I would say a melee spell attack would count.
Cool. He hops back into formation with his friends.
Okay. So you rush up, flick your shield, and then pop back. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Corey, what would you like to do? You see that
I'm gonna
there's
cast
this.
aid
Okay.
on everybody else. So everybody add 5 to your hit point maximum.
And don't forget to take it off.
And then I'm going to face step next to the biggest, scariest looking guy.
Well, there's the one that looked like Caelum with a descended jaw. Then there was a huge-sized boar, and then there were 4 of these smaller little chattering boys.
Yeah. Hey, I'm sorry. I'm having difficulty navigating my spell sheet, but my Bane, does that work on only one person, or does that work
Yes.
on
Only one.
just one? Okay. I am only one. I'm going to, then I'm going to face step behind the scary Caelum guy
Okay.
and try to Bane that boy.
All right. So that is a 19 on the die.
All right, he'll be good.
Sounds good. So then next up is the large boar's turn. And it is actually going to run over to the side where Caelum, you had backed up to be in line with all of your friends. And it is going to open up its mouth. And as it does, you see that the jowls that are on the side of this pig's face just kind of begin to reverberate as a beam of lightning actually shoots out. So Arjan, Gwen, and Caelum, I'm going to need all 3 of you to make dexterity saving throws.
2.
Oh,
wait.
Are they within 10 feet of me?
Because you had popped forward, no.
Fuck.
10.
7.
We're bad at these.
What'd you get, Caelum?
2.
Okay, yeah. So all 3 of you are going to be taking max damage from this
Great.
for a total of 22 points of lightning damage.
This is fine.
All right, so that was going to be it for its turn. The next up, Gwen.
Solid. Gwen would like to tiny rage. And then she's gonna go in and do herself an attack with the run tax.
Okay.
Show off her skills, hopefully, if the dice be willing. Oh, geez. Get a kitten. Oh, that's an 18 on the dice. I'm gonna try and hit the biggin because I like fighting big guys.
Okay, biggin as in big pig, or biggin as in reverse Caelum?
Reverse Caelum.
Okay, got it. Because one is a huge size category, the other is just a medium monstrosity. So it's like...
This is a huge-ass tent.
It was like a carnival tent.
Yeah. So I do... well, actually, since I took features, I'm going to use my... Oh, where is it? Great weapon fighting. I rolled a 2, so I'm going to roll it again. I got a 2, so that's 6 damage.
Okay. Sounds good.
Did you find a kitten? Oh, no. And that's it, right? Just one attack for me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Or no, you're past level 5, so you get 2 attacks.
Sweet.
Okay, that's a 17 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Alright, cool. Cool. That is 13 damage on the second hit.
Okay. Yeah, so 13. Sounds good.
Does it seem like my weapons are doing what I think they should be doing?
It seems like there is a little bit of resistance based on this creature, but at the same time, there's a very bright light that is coming up from where the poultice was thrown into the flames. That looks like if it wasn't in that kind of bright light, it might be able to kind of shrug off some of that damage, but thankfully you were in a proper setting for dealing with this kind of thing. Next up are the 4 tiny bitey boys who are going to rush up to you, Gwen, and they are each going to try and make an attack against you.
Yes.
So that is an 8. That misses. Does 17 hit?
Yes, it does.
Okay. So that is going to be for 2 points of piercing damage, and the creature attaches itself to you.
Ooh, that's not good.
It's fine.
Don't like that.
Third creature is going to be a 5 to hit, and fourth creature is a natural 20.
Ooh.
So that one is going to deal 8 points of piercing damage and also attaches itself.
Cool. I have 2 boys on me.
All right, so Arjan, it is your go.
For my action, I'm going to fire off 2 Eldritch Blasts. What has been hit so far?
So far, what has been hit is the anti-Caelum, and that's it.
Okay, I'm going to try to hit... I'm going to try to hit 2 of the things that just latched onto Gwen.
Okay.
If I'm at least 5 feet away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because Gwen had rushed up to also lay some smack down.
Shit, this is cocked. Sorry. Does an 8 hit?
These little guys? No, it does not.
What about a 12?
12 also does not hit.
That's fine. Because I cast a cantrip for my bonus action, I will take 1 weapon attack using my Mystic Frenzy ability.
Ooh.
That's new. And this is going to be at the Thunder Beast.
Okay.
Damage die is cocked, but I'll re-roll it. What about 17? Does that hit? No, shit. That is not the number. It's a 20.
Yeah, 20 will hit.
Okay. For 9 points of piercing, 4 points of fire.
Okay. So that is a total of 13. Got it.
That's my turn.
Alrighty, sounds good. So at the top of the round is Caelum.
Thunder Beast. Caelum also tries to attack it with another spell. Actual 20.
Nice. Which spell are you doing? Same one as before or a different spell?
Same one as before. And then... 106 points of force damage.
What the fuck?
Sorry, how? What happened?
I'm sorry.
12d10.
What level did you cast this at?
Fourth. It's inflict wounds, but force damage.
So, what does it look like when you just make this boar disappear?
You see Caelum rear back and uppercuts the boar, and it like lifts off the ground slightly and then dusts.
So, can I put a slight spin on this?
Sure.
Caelum's Fist of the North Star. It's literally, he comes up, does the flick, and you see the creature stop, and then like a divot appears in it. It gets launched up a little bit, and then just dusts. Like, it is very much just like certain stops in the animation frames are just causing this creature to just...
motion doodle.
All right,
Stephen,
so...
Are you scared of my smites anymore?
No, because we have a wizard who survived on our team. So, Caelum,
Hey.
you don't feel like you necessarily have to laugh at serious situations anymore.
Cool.
But at this point, I feel like there's part of you that really just wants to be like, motherfucker.
Holy shit, man.
Dumbass boar.
Motherfucking boar with this fucking lightning.
All right,
breath.
well, that's it for that.
Sorry.
You got a bonus action?
I'm gonna Blessing of the Raven Queen over to the bone me.
Okay.
And just like go, you're next.
Okay, sounds good. Next up, hey, Cori.
Yeah, Cori was about to run over and engage with that boar, but that no longer exists.
No.
So
Not on this plane or any others. It is gone.
she's going to kind of blink at Caelum and then say, fair enough. And she's going to try and... There's two things that I want to do here. Okay, I'll do it. It's fine. I'm going to compelled duel Bony Boy.
Okay.
That's a wisdom saving throw.
Sounds good. That is a 6.
All right, that's failure. He has a disadvantage against on attack rolls on creatures other than me, and must make a wisdom saving throw each time he attempts to move to a space that is more than 30 feet away from me.
Okay.
He also gets disadvantage if he attacks anyone but me.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh god,
This
we are incorrigible.
What honestly is a challenge rating with this party? I'm trying to find it. And I have to keep you guys awake for days on end and be like, excellent, they have no more spell slots. I'll let this singular goblin do what he's fucking supposed to do.
Anyway, I'm gonna attack him.
Okay.
Here it comes. That's a 5 on the die. I don't think that's gonna do much. That means 12.
Okay. 12 does not hit.
Okay. Attack at the second. How's about a dirty 20?
Okay. Yeah, dirty 20 will definitely do the job.
All right, I'm gonna drop a second level smite on the boy. Is he Fey, Fiend, or Undead?
He's
I
not.
think those are the ones I get extras on. No, it's just Fiend or Undead that I get extras on. Okay, so 2 for a smite, plus 1 for second level, and sword damage. That's gonna be 12 slashing damage. 8, 14, 22 radiant damage. And then, as a bonus action, I'm going to try and shove him. Because I took up Shield Master this time.
Isn't that the compelled duel?
Oh, shoot. Damn it. I already did my bonus action. Never mind.
Gotti. All right. Why do I bother? Next
Why
up,
do I bother?
Gwen.
Did Arjan go?
Arjan goes after you do.
I go after. I was gonna make a snide comment, but that's for nights in the courtyard and in Twitch chat.
Gwen is going to look over at Caelum, look at the dust on the wall and the blood spatter, and just go, nice! And then she's going to do a double attack with her Runtax.
Okay.
Oh. 18 to hit on the first one. 17 to hit on the second one.
What was the first one?
18? They're both high.
Okay. Yeah, they
I
both.
don't remember.
Okay.
I rolled 2 numbers.
17 hits. Your first
Okay.
number. Let's have you re-roll your first attack.
Okay, that's fine. I don't remember. That's a 7. So 7 plus 5 is 12.
Okay, so
Nope.
first attack
Yeah.
does not hit. Second attack does.
Okay. That is. Let me see. I think I have a thing. Yeah, once per turn when you roll for a melee weapon attack, you can So basically, I just re-roll my damage and I can use either roll for Savage Attacker, which I picked up a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take the 3 because the 2 is not as good. So that's 7 damage.
Okay.
Yep.
Sounds good. All right, so Gwen, that was your turn. Next up are the small little bitey boys. At the start of one of its turns, Gwen, you are going to be taking 2 points of necrotic damage. And then 9 points of necrotic from the second one that is also attached onto you.
Ow! Fuck! Dude, no! They're... Yeah, get them up!
Okay. And then 2 more are also going to attempt to bite and latch out towards you. So modified 20 on the first of the ones that wasn't already attached. So you're going to be taking 3 points of piercing damage. And it attaches itself to you as well. And then the fourth one, the second one that was not attached, is going to get a 15. All right. So
Yes, that hits. Sorry.
that is okay. And then you are going to be taking 9 points of piercing damage as this fourth one also jumps and just begins to latch onto you.
Solid.
Next up, Arjan.
Gwen's spinning. Ah! Ah!
Arjan, you just watched as Caelum disintegrated that boar.
Right. There's still 3 enemies on.
There are 4 enemies that are currently attached themselves onto Gwen, and then there is also is not made of bone. To be fair, it is not a bone Caelum. It is just the reverse Caelum, as it seems like there's still skin, still
Nega
flesh.
Kayla.
He's just gross. Just would like to point out, not made of bones.
The color on Arjan's crossbow flames is going to the flames are going to like spike up for a bit, and it looks like he's shooting the crossbow, but 3 just like balls of fire come out as he casts Scorching Ray. One of those is going to be a 19.
Okay.
So I need some more blood die. Or 19 plus 5, which is a 24. And then the other one's going to be a dirty 20 and a 16 to hit.
Okay, and those are all going towards the Caelum-looking motherfucker?
No, the different enemies
Okay.
that I've attached to Gwen.
Oh, yeah. You hit all 3 of them. Or you hit 3 out of the 4.
One of them is going to take 10 points of fire damage.
And
One of them is going to take 5. And one is going to take 7.
Okay. So one of them just disappears off the face of the earth. Just gone. No longer moving. Did you have a bonus action? It looks like the fire damage only was able to remove one of these. 2 of them are still attached to Gwen.
No, I think that's it.
Okay. Sounds good. So next up is this creature, who I realized I forgot to have do anything last turn. That's fine. That's okay. So seeing as how Cori has shown up and blasted it with the smities, he is going to try and swing out towards you with one of its hands. And you see that as the hand comes up, it actually switches from being more of a hand and turns into more of a pointed claw, with the fingers actually extending out into what look to be raven claws, or like the talons of a raven rather than an actual hand as it goes to sweep out towards you.
At disadvantage?
Yes. That is going to be a 16 at disadvantage.
No.
Okay, and it is going to then try and make a bite towards you.
Damn.
Also at disadvantage.
Ladies, we should have thought of this sooner.
You guys have done this a
bumble
multitude of times.
we bumble into it constantly.
All right, well, that's an 11. So that's not going to
Okay.
hit. Yep, it goes to try and bite out at you, but double disadvantage on two different sides it does not make for a happy creature. Next up, Caelum.
How many are on Gwen right now?
3 are on Gwen.
Cool.
Oh, there.
Caelum flicks his shield again, and there's the boom sound, and you see 4 dark orbs appear around him, and then they into little ravens.
Nice.
And so I'm going to send 3 of them at the people on Gwen and 1 at the duder in front of me.
Okay.
Does a 17 hit for small person?
Yes, a 17 does hit the small.
7 points of psychic damage.
Okay, and that was to the main.
No, so I'm targeting the little
Okay,
duders
yeah.
first.
So that one disappears.
15 to hit.
Yes, that'll hit.
9 points of psychic damage.
Okay, a second one also disappears off Gwen.
14.
A 14 does not hit. It seems like this one, like as Gwen is like flailing around because her friends are sending attacks at her. But like the bitey monsters are disappearing, but still there's fire and ravens being shot in her direction. So as she swings, she actually manages to just like have this one kind of twist away.
Gwen, stop moving! And I guess I'll send the last one at the dude on Gwen to hopefully get it all off.
Okay.
18
18 hits.
and 11.
Okay. That one
11.
That one is also gone with the wind as these ravens just pierce through these creatures. And then as they go through, it seems like even though these ravens are spiritual, as they pierce through the sides of these creatures as they're on their way out in this more psychic wisp that you have kind of flavored these birds as, you see them just taking away small, darkly glowing bits. And they
That
seem to
doesn't
just...
have any repercussion later. Yeah, that
Yeah.
doesn't seem good at all.
And then they just seem to disappear. And Caelum, you no longer feel yourself as a foolhardy individual.
What the fuck are we doing?
Okay, so next up is Gwen.
What about Cori?
Right, Cori,
Cori.
my bee.
He's all good. We all know what she's gonna do. I tracked the boy. The reverse boy.
Oh, okay.
That one.
Not one?
Not our boy. Yeah, 12 doesn't hit, does it?
No, it does not.
Alright, attack the second. Oh, even worse. I don't think I need to hit in order to shove. I think if I just take an attack action, I can do it. Double checking. Stand by. New level. Who dis?
With the powers of D&D Beyond, hey viewer, did you know if you drag your mouse over the view screen on Twitch, you can actually see all of our different character sheets. That includes Coriander, Arjan, Gwen, and Caelum.
I do not need to hit in order to do a shove action. So I'm
Nice.
going to shove him with my shield.
Do it.
Unless he's immune to being prone.
He's not.
Okay. It's athletics versus athletics or acrobatics.
Okay.
Came to the wrong neighborhood.
22.
15. Okay. Carry on.
Okay. All right. So next up would be all of those creatures, but they are dead. So next up is Gwen.
I was gonna do. Gwen is first going to like kind of shake herself off a little bit, and then she's gonna kind of flex and like yell in her ragey form, like kind of like go Super Saiyan a little bit. And some of the attacks that have gone on her, the light from within her lights up those areas, and those begin to heal as she uses her second wind as a bonus action.
Nice.
And gets 8 AC back, or heals 8, I should say. And then she's gonna do a double attack, because why not? And I'm gonna roll both dice at the same time so I don't forget. It's a 12 and a 13 plus 5.
Okay.
So 18 and 17.
Yep, they both hit.
Solid. Mess this mofo up. Oh, okay. Math. 16 plus 8.
For a total of 24.
24 damage for both hits.
Okay. Sounds good. This creature is still standing. It looks mightily injured. Does not like any of that shit that you guys have been pulling towards it, as all of its other friends are gone. Arjan, what would you like to do?
There's still one creature alive on
Yes.
Gwen?
Not on me, but I'm
No.
fighting.
All of the creatures that were biting on Gwen have all been dusted. The only creature that is left is the weirdly looking creature that seemed almost like Caelum, but as the fight has gone on, it has taken on its own monstrous form.
Cool. Can I get it to make a dex save?
Yes, you can. What happens if it fails? Because I'm assuming a 6 is a fail.
Yeah. So what had happened was Arjan sort of readies his crossbow and sort of closes his eyes a little bit, and like beneath this creature, 5 little points of flame just start to erupt, and the base of it is Arjan's signature yellow green flame, but at the tips of the flames, almost like looking into like a flame that you put potassium nitrate or some other sort of pyrotechnic powder in it. It's just, oh, one of them's black at the end, one of them's blue. Huh. This is the Sacred Flame cantrip.
Okay.
That's 12 points of radiant damage? Yeah, radiant
Yep.
damage.
Okay.
And for my bonus action, I'm going to use Mystic Frenzy again and take a crossbow shot. Does a 9 hit? Or, sorry, does a 10 hit?
No. Sad to say. No, it does not. Okay, so it is this creature's turn. And it looks over towards you, Gwen, as you have made yourself very bright and glowing and actually had that moment where you healed. And as it looks at you, you see its mouth kind of closes up and forms into this very wide, unsettling smile as you see a tongue actually come out and lick its chops as it then tries to lash out towards you. So it is going to attempt to bite you.
Solid.
But that is a natural 1. It seemed to have telegraphed its attack a little bit too much. And even though it had advantage on its roll, I just got to roll flat because, well, Compelled Duel is...
Sorry.
Compelled Duel's really good. You guys are doing great and winning Dungeons and Dragons. I'm happy for all of you.
If it makes you feel any better, we don't do it on purpose. Not good.
He's going to then try and hit you with his claw. But again, modified 10, I'm assuming, does not hit. Next up, Caelum.
Okay. Gonna walk up to it and check I'm just gonna cast another spell. Haven't I learned my lesson? I shouldn't be blowing all of these. Whatever. 23.
23 will hit.
Cool. 27 points of force damage.
Okay. That's fine. It is looking mightily injured at this point. Certainly bloodied, like bloodied a while ago, and has just sort of been like trying to just exist in this form of hatred.
Same.
All right, so do you have a bonus action?
No, I don't. I get taunted? I don't know. I wouldn't taunt it. Next.
Okay. Next up, Cori.
I'm gonna roll both attacks at the same time. Does a 17 hit?
Yes.
Then a 22 will also hit.
Oh, for sure.
Okay. How many smites do I have left? I have one second level smite left, and one, I'll basically, long story short, I'm gonna do a second level smite and a first level smite.
Okay.
So here they come. Max damage on one of those. All right. 14 plus. Oh god, math. Okay, 19, and then all right. So 25 slashing damage.
Okay.
That's both swords at the same time. And now here comes smite. 7, 15, 21, 26 radiant damage.
What does it look like when you destroy the source of Caelum's apathy?
She's gonna slash it across the back first, and then she's going to send the sword just directly through its abdomen from behind and lift it off of its feet a little bit, and then she's just gonna throw it down away from Caelum.
Okay. And as you throw it down away from Caelum, you see it kind of tumble onto the ground a little bit as very vibrant points of moonfire actually seem to erupt from within it as its form just completely self-immolates, no longer able to exist in this material world without its tie. Caelum, all of the flaws that you have gained that were not your original flaws are removed from your character sheet as your party members have cured what ails you this day. And that is where we are going to call it for tonight's session. So I would like to say thank you very much to everybody who decided to stop by and enjoy this wonderful game of Dungeons and Dragons. RJ, where can we find you? What do you do?
Hey everybody, RJ here on the channel, but you can catch me, of course, here on Mondays, Caelum, Shadowkai Cleric. On Tuesdays, we're playing Curse of Strahd, run by Danae Keener, Danae.com. I play Speed, the Barovian human ranger. You can also catch me on Sundays with LBHackEmUp over at Pro Research Channel at 8 p.m. EST, where we play Phase, our Afrocentric cyberpunk game, which we use the Cypher system. Also, I'm helping out over at Open for Adventurers. So, yeah. Check them out, too.
Yes. LB, where can we find you? What do you do?
Hi, I'm LBHackEmUp. I've been up since 2 o'clock Central Time. I'm doing great. You can find me here Mondays and Tuesdays. Tomorrow we will be playing. Nope, I thought I could do it. Tomorrow I'll be playing Silmy, and then Wednesday I'll be on David Bear's channel. We are doing our Ghost of Saltmarsh game, where I play Oyantu, a Triton druid, who is the moral compass of the party, surprisingly. And then on Sundays at 4:30, I want to say. We're playing maybe it's 4, on Game Night's channel. We are playing a Monster of the Week game where I am reprising my role as Abby, slightly older, not as many mutations. And then after that, you can find me. Yeah, you can find me with RJ. It's at 4. Thank you, chat. And then you can find me after that on Pro's channel with RJ and holy bajoli. That's going to be fun. Nuke went off. We failed. My character's never failed a mission before, so she's dealing with that. Has the head of one of her adversaries, and she's just going to keep animating him every day just to talk to him so he can't be at peace with his family. Good times. Oh yeah, she's fucked up.
Okay.
That's me.
Cyber, where can we find you? What do you do?
I'm Cyber. You can find me on Twitter at CyberWolf1201, where I sometimes delirious and something comes to my mind and it ends up as a shit post plastered all over your timeline. So follow for that. But I also post about whenever I go live on twitch.tv/cyberwolf1201, where I play video games real badly, died 146 times in Halo on normal difficulty. So that's how bad it was. But I talk about lore, and it's a good time. I finished up Halo last week, so we're going to be playing something else. I think I have an idea of what game I want to play.
Gears of War.
No, I don't think I've ever played a Gears of War. I've never played Gears of War. No, I'm going to play a horrible game, but one that has a lot of lore. But I'll save the surprise for a little bit. The archives of that go to a YouTube channel that has a horrible URL, and right now has 78 subscribers. Whenever I get to 100, we're gonna give away a Gen Con limited edition Jester chibi pin. So if you couldn't go to Gen Con and you want it, maybe get some of your friends to subscribe to the channel. Good stuff is there, like all those archives, as well as a podcast that Kyle with an N I do called Let's Talk About It, where we get drunk, do parkour, and talk about the RPG stuff that we did. Promise we're going to record a new episode at some point whenever Kyle with an N gets back. And I already have an idea for what the next episode after that is going to be. So, yeah, follow. It's going to be good. And D&D Beyond tutorials. I had a lot of fun recording the last one, and it didn't take up a lot of my time, so I want to keep doing that. So if you have something that's available for free on the DM's Guild or whatever, and you're just like, I don't know how to put this in D&D Beyond, let me know. I'll walk you through it. But for RPG stuff, follow Open for Adventures. Twitch.tv/open4adventure or at open4adventure on the Twitter, because it's a good channel. I do stuff behind the scenes, and hey, you might see RJustice on it, so that's cool. But you can find me here on this channel, twitch.tv/indoor-adventures, on Monday, which you found. Good for you. You can also find me on the Thursday night game where we play Ghost of Saltmarsh / Acquisitions Incorporated, the Salt Bay team, where I play Albus, the Kalashtar Bard Loremonger. Yeah.
Yes. And Danae, where can we find you?
My name's Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com. I do nerdy drawings mostly related to D&D and stuff on this channel. You can also find me here tomorrow running Curse of Strahd, along with our guest player, Dammit Barry, who will be playing the lovely boy, the sweet boy Leo, as we go to put together a lynch mob to take out Lady Voctor. I think that is what is happening. DanaeKeener.com.
Is that what's happening tomorrow? I don't know. I'm scared.
We're just going to get a bunch of guys together. We're going to go to the Walkthrough's house, and we're going to have a small party.
Just this small one. It'll be fine.
Just need to point Leo.
Oh my god.
I
No.
guess you can say we're gonna hang out.
Get out of here. Get out.
Boo. Boo.
I
So,
went through a whole sitting of there was a place called Cows, and it was a ice cream shop, and the puns that I had to sit through, guys, I can't. I can't. It was utterly terrible.
oh, come on. Boo.
Let's
Boo.
I endured this
All right.
punishment.
let's move on.
All right, hello everybody. You found
God.
if you've made it this far, you probably already know who I am. But if you don't, hey fella, what's up? It's me, your buddy, your pal, your friend, the Indoor Adventurer, the showrunner here at twitch.tv/Indoor Adventures, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and on Saturdays at 11 a.m. when I can. Last week, I ended up doing a Gundam build. We got his chest, a head, and an arm fully built out, which was really fun. But if you're interested in tabletop content, which I'm assuming that you are if you have made it this far, you can check us out tonight at our homebrew games on Mondays, 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We got Tuesdays of Chris Estrada and Thursdays at Acquisitions Incorporated Saltmarsh Edition. It's super fun. I would recommend checking out all of those things. We also have a Patreon set up. So if you are interested in helping support the show, consider going to patreon.com/Indoor Adventures, because that is where we have our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from the community, but also from each other. So if you have any questions that you would like to ask us, whether myself as the dungeon master or all of our players, or perhaps ask a character a question like, Arjan, why are you like this? You can totally do that during Nights in the Courtyard. So we are going to be rating our dear friend Sir Lucian, as he is one of the tying factors that brought LB and I together for tabletop games. So we are going to do that, as well as do our after show. So thanks everybody for stopping by, and we'll see you guys soon. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.